Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Dissect. I go by the name of Novelist.
And I got by the name of Jewel.
And of course, tonight we'll be talking to an engineer slash producer. You all know him as the name of Cornell Phillips. But before we bring him on, Jules, how was last weekend?
You know what? Last weekend, I missed y'all last weekend.
Hey, we missed you last weekend.
I was thinking about y'all. But my mom had a beautiful birthday,
Nice.
75th. She enjoyed herself. Yeah. Thank you for
That's
asking.
what's up.
Mhm.
Of course, of course. So, looking forward to tonight.
Yes, I think it's going to be an exciting show. I missed the first few episodes when he was on, but
Right.
I know it's going to be an exciting show tonight. Can't
Oh
wait.
yeah, and he's in the backstage, of course. And before we bring him on, I would like to encourage you guys. Tonight, we're gonna introduce something new. We're gonna put a WhatsApp number. Sometime will show up on the screen, and you guys could actually call in that WhatsApp number, leave a voice note or something if you want to ask, Cornell a question, or you could just send a text message to the WhatsApp number, all right? Which later on will be on the screen. So, we'll go through that later on in the show and then we'll get your voice and put it on, all right? So, we're not going to keep you guys waiting. Let's bring in the man of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. He's no stranger to the show. He's been on here before. Part two, like he said in his promo, Mr. Cornell Phillip.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Not bad.
Welcome.
What's going on?
Hi, good.
Oh,
I'm good.
you sound relaxed after a bacchanal
What?
week.
Not relaxed yet. Not relaxed yet. Be
What you say?
being in front of the camera is just part of it. You know, the hard work is behind the camera.
Of
Mhm.
course, of
Pre
course.
both pre and post.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Right.
No rest for the weary, man.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully I'll be able to get some rest from Monday. Yeah, hopefully.
All right. So
You
how
know,
was
you
the
have
whole
certain things to do.
okay. So how was the whole season? I mean, it's kind of different, what we used to, but how did everything go?
Well, I'm used to it by now.
Already?
This is, I mean, this is my second Carnival, so hey.
Right, right.
But it was, I think it was a great success for us.
All right.
We had the same kind of vibe last year.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole, well, it started off as Carnival, and
All
then we
right.
were told that we couldn't use the brand Dominica Mass or the real Mass or Dominica Carnival. We couldn't use Carnival.
Oh
So
wow.
that was a blessing in disguise, and we came up
Right.
with Carlinval.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, so we branded it Carlinval, and that just took off. And this is our second year doing it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was. I mean, when it comes to the logistics, everything was smooth sailing. The hardest part was getting up in the morning.
Hmm.
I think that was the hardest part.
but
So it
getting up
felt
in the
like
morning.
real Juve. It felt like Juve for real, though.
What? Let me tell you about it. It was real Juve. It was real Juve. I mean, the atmosphere was a carnival atmosphere, to be honest with you,
Hmm.
because we got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, knowing that we had set up at 12, like 10 o'clock the night before, and we got up at 3 o'clock, knowing that we have to go and play for Juve at 4 o'clock. And trust me, it was like it was like the real thing. To be honest, it was like the real thing.
Wow.
But yeah, I figure it'll probably be easier, you're doing everything, right in your yard, right? But like,
Um, Doing it right in the yard is a convenience more than it is easier.
Mm.
okay,
You
okay,
understand? Because you still have to set up.
right,
Um, though streaming, it's easier to do the. I shouldn't say it's easier to do the stream, but there are it equally has its challenges.
right, okay,
Doing the streaming as opposed to actually going and playing on a truck, performing on a truck, and going around the streets and stuff like that. It
right,
has its challenges, and we did have our challenges.
right.
Yeah. So, but we pulled through.
Nice. I was
Nice.
able to catch an hour of the show, and I was I was sweating as well when the performance was going on. It was good. It was good.
All right, thanks, man.
Uh,
Thanks.
Yeah.
I saw your partner Nigeria had a truck, but it looked like it break down. I don't know, somebody mash up his generator or something.
I don't know what happened. They had a light. I don't know if they needed the light to go under the truck to see what was
Uh,
happening. But you know, Nikki, Nikki herself was burned out. I think after the second round,
yeah,
Nikki was
that's
burned
it.
out.
Yeah. She gotta work out. Everybody back out now, so she need to work out for the road next year.
No, but
But
trust me. I mean, it was taxing. It was taxing on the body. I mean, there was no difference being virtual or being on the road.
right,
We had to get up in the early morning. We had to stand up. We had to perform, and even you have to perform. You actually, when you're on a truck, you can stay on the truck and you can just sit down and perform because not many people seeing you. But
yes,
when you're in front of a camera and the world is seeing you, you know, you have the
right,
potential of millions seeing you. You have to be at your A game all the time.
true.
Yeah.
And honestly, you have to experience it to know how taxing it is. And kudos to Colin. You know,
Yeah.
Colin. After a while, I felt sorry for her, you know, because it was taxing, and I could see that she was just pushing.
Yes,
She was
yeah,
going. She was going. She was
right,
going, and she never let up. And yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
She almost lost her voice there too, no?
No, well, actually, she lost her voice after.
All right,
You know, like
after it
after
was
this season, when you just release,
released,
and
yeah,
that is when
that's it.
everybody get the flu.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So
That
is
was it.
that, you know? So she didn't. She had voice all the time, and then on Wednesday, that is when the voice went.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was running on stamina or something.
Yeah, yeah.
The last of the fumes.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah, I want to go back to, well, let's get into some questions because I'm sure some people have some burning questions and they want to know things about you, Cornell. I know last time you were on the show, you had different things to talk about, but I want to go back
right,
to your solo project after the Rupee and WCK era. What
right.
inspired that? And will we ever get a part two?
What inspired this? First of all, that project was in the making 10 years, at least 10 years before it was actually released.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I live where I work, so I spend a lot of time in the studio, and doing like WCK was basically my life, you know. And then when I left WCK to go and pursue other, you know, ventures and doing Rupee, when I came back to Dominica, um, I just decided to, you know, start off, just do something different. And then I would always be playing around with different styles of of a particular song, and the
Mhm.
WCK repertoire was part of the songs that I was just messing around with, you
Mhm.
know. And my friend, a very good friend of mine, Chad Augustine,
Mm.
he is one that would always push me to do stuff, you
Yeah.
know. And then it just came a time when everything just aligned, and we started to work on the album. I started to work on the album, bringing different resources and just putting things together. And then it finally came together, and interpretations came out. You
Yeah.
know, there is a second, there is a second one. There are many songs that are already done, but
Mhm.
it's all about timing, and it's all about. I mean, it is a project of mine, but in recent time, over the last more than 2 years, the focus has been Colin XP, you know,
Yeah.
because of what happened, you know, with the COVID, and when we saw the opportunity to really, you know, to do certain things and so on. So
Mhm.
the project is on the desktop of the
I saw you look
computer.
over there to the
So I
desk.
just clack clack, so I can just double click and I can open it, and it is right in front of me every day. You
Nice.
know, so it's just a matter of finishing it off and releasing it and just doing something grand again. You
So
know.
Nice.
so if we ever get it, because Colin is up front. But if we ever get it, what we're looking for, we have some classics. We're gonna hear some classics on there, some old school stuff.
Um, it will be old school stuff. It wouldn't be targeted towards like the Dominica music per se. I mean,
Right.
the first album, you had songs from Ophelia, you had songs from WCK,
Yes.
Gramax, and a
Yes.
couple originals.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, but this time I thought of, you know, of going
Broaden.
out,
Right.
you know, broadening the scope of the music selections. And
Right.
there's also going to be more lead vocals on the album.
Okay. Nice.
That's a great idea, actually,
Eh,
because I'm a Grenadian and Trinity parentage, and we
Right,
would like to have a little bit of that vibe over in those islands too, you know. So,
right.
good idea to incorporate different sounds in that. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
but Cornell, the okay, since we're on that album, I remember when well, it was a long time ago. You made a song. Well, it wasn't a song. You used to do this thing. I guess you guys call it booyah jazz after a while. There's
Right.
a thing you guys used to do live.
Yeah,
with
right.
with how like the reaction to that, because everywhere that played the reaction was crazy. Would you say that had
Right.
anything to do with the actual album, like some type of inspiration or even
No, no. To be honest, I guess it did.
right?
I mean, without even knowing it, because I mean, once you're in it, there are certain influences that are gonna come from all over the place. So
Right.
probably it did. It most likely did.
Right.
But what that really started it off is Kong Shell. I started
Mhm.
to do that. The orchestration that I have of Kong Shell was something that I was doing years, like many years before the album actually came out. I was doing that a long time ago, and then I decided to record it. So
Mhm.
that is what that really triggered the Interpretations album.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
You know.
Well, we're looking forward to part two. I wouldn't ask you some of the vocal artists you were on there because I know you say you have it on the shelf. I won't put you on the line.
you you can ask me any question you want to know. You just might not
Oh,
like the answer that I give.
well, well, seeing that you're live and you tell me that, yeah, you wanna, okay, we're gonna bid for sure. Colin probably on there, right? Anybody
Colin
else?
is for sure going to be on there,
Right.
but surprising enough, there's no song for her yet.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, it's a no-brainer that she's gonna be on
Right.
there.
Of
But
course.
You
I
save
haven't
the best
actually.
for last.
Or in the items you get a call out.
But it will have some local artists as well as
Right.
some regional artists, and I'm not looking for artists that are popular
Right.
in the Caribbean I'm not looking for popular artists. I'm looking for great artists,
Right.
Mm.
great unknowns. You know, they're known,
Right.
but in
But
their
yes.
little circle, because it adds that sense of special. It adds that special feeling when you bring great talent. You just
Right.
put great talent in front of you, and people will be asking like, "Who is this guy? Who is this girl?" You know, and
Mm.
stuff like that. But I mean, there's so much talent. There's so much talent out there. You know,
Right.
undiscovered talent out
Oh
there,
yes.
and we see it every day. We see it every day, and you know, sometimes you just want to give somebody a push. You just want to give somebody an opportunity. You know, so and it's not that you're doing them a favor, because they definitely have the talent.
Right.
You know, so you're just giving them a platform to express that talent.
Yeah.
You
Nice.
Would
know.
these artists be under their own label, or they're under your label in a way you're promoting
No,
that?
no, 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 no. They wouldn't be under my label.
Okay.
To be honest with you, labels kill artists.
Mm.
Labels, I mean, especially today, I mean, with when you go to a label, they're going to stifle you when it comes to social media. They're going to have their own thing. When you can be doing just as much as them, seeing that
Right.
social media is right there for you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, so I like to keep things. I don't like to hold down people.
Right.
So I'll come to you, I'll ask you if you're interested, blah blah blah. If you're interested, yes. If you're not interested, no. But if you're interested, I'm not going to put sanctions or tell you cannot do this or you can't do that and stuff like
Right.
that. No, no, no.
No, yeah,
Everybody is free to express themselves as they please.
nice.
Yeah. That's
All right.
something that we heard a lot from many artists that have come on to the show as well. Being on their own label is
Yeah.
another way to go for sure. Okay.
Yeah,
I
freedom.
mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, I have been there.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And I know what I go through, what I went through, and I don't want anybody to go through what I have. I want them to have a better experience than what I had.
Right.
And that is what it is. You just I can safely say that I have never done anybody wrong. Probably I've done
Right.
something to better myself that may have stepped on someone's toes.
Right.
Because if something that may be good for me may not be good for another person.
Facts.
But I just do what I have to do, and then I do whatever I can do to help others.
Right.
That is what I'm here for as an artist, as a producer. I am here to uplift life and make people's lives better. To be honest with you, that's what I'm here for.
Nice. Well, you've been doing a good job at it for many many years. You know what I mean? And I can say more than you know. Trust me. you know.
I did my research and I think I heard something about more than 35 years.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
it's a long time. It's a long time.
Put the man age out like that, man. Next
No, I
topic.
don't have a
Next
problem.
topic.
I was thinking about
I
my
don't have a
age
problem
and I
with
said,
my age.
wow, that is a long time.
I don't have a problem with my age. I have no problems with my age. I am who I am. I
Of
Age
course.
is
am who I
wisdom.
am.
Of course. Yeah, you're right. Age is wisdom. Age
Age
is
is
wisdom.
wisdom.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
let's talk a little Cali next, P. The
Right,
last time you were here, you guys were in the States, and
right.
you guys I don't know what intentions you guys had as far as how long you were gonna stay, but I know you guys exceeded your expectations, right? So
I
how
would
was
say that.
yeah? Well, I think from the last time we spoke, you said with some like there was added shows, so
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
a good thing. Now I know you've been in that situation before where you probably left Dominica, probably for a month and end up staying, you know, forever, however long, right? But how
That's the
was
first time I stayed 6 months, though.
yeah? Oh, it was 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 6 months.
Damn, boy, time flies.
It was 6 months. We were
Oh, wow.
given 6 months because we went up on the 1st of July, and
All
then
right,
we were supposed to leave on the 30th or the 31st of December.
right,
Mhm.
So we seen that we were there. I mean, we just decided to stay. I mean, the majority of our events were online anyway, so we could have done it
right.
anywhere.
That's
Mhm.
true.
And plus there was no online, there was no in-person schooling.
Yeah,
Everything was online, so it was easy for us to just stay up there. Kiera was with us. I mean, a
right.
lot of the time Kiera would be in school and we would be driving. You
Oh, nice.
understand?
Yeah,
We would
yeah.
be driving from one state to another. We decided to drive most of the time,
Right.
unless if it was so far that we had to
Yeah,
fly. But
fine. Right.
it was safer for us to drive.
Yeah.
We felt safer driving, so we did that. It was an experience. It was an
Nice.
experience, I must
But
say.
so I take it, they liked it, obviously. Well, maybe not the cold, but
Well, we were not really in the cold, and the little that we experienced of the cold, it wasn't that bad.
uh,
Because
for you,
when no, the thing about it is that when you're in tourist mode, it's not a must that you go out of the door.
True.
facts.
Whereas if you are local, you have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and find yourself at work. You
Yeah.
Right.
understand?
Sure.
So it was kind of easy for us. It was easy
Yeah.
for us.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I was gonna ask how you manage your work-life balance, like your business and your family. How do you balance that? Like you kind of gave an example that your family was along with you, but generally, how do you balance work and family?
Um, To be honest, I don't have a balance. Huh?
Mm,
Morning,
Just roll.
morning, noon, and night. Work, work, work.
yeah. Especially when
Which,
everything's at home.
yes, and this is not a healthy thing. I can tell you that much. It is not a healthy thing. You definitely have to make time to go out. You have to make time to go on a date. You have to make time
Mhm,
with your kids and
mhm,
stuff like that. But like if Colin didn't, pull me up on certain things, I would
mhm,
be just work, 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 work. Just be at it. Just be at it.
mhm.
And she would literally take the computer away from me and just put it aside and tell me, yo, you know. So
Mm,
right now she would tell me, okay, we go in here, we go in there, we go in here, we go in there,
mm,
and I would just say, okay, yeah, no problem, let's go. Unless if I have a pressing matter to deal with,
right.
then I do it, But it had its challenges at first, but then when you get into the flow of things, everything kind of works out,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. That's some good advice to share with the young artists, especially coming out, and
Yeah,
any artist, anyways, And you've been in it for a while, so thanks for
I've
sharing.
been in it for a while. You're welcome, man.
And it still don't have a balance. What a guy. But what's the future looking like? I guess the near future looking like for you guys. I mean, the carnival is done.
The carnival is done. We getting the calls, we putting things together, we doing things, we want to do things the proper way,
Right, of course.
so it will take a little time, but we're getting things in order, for travel, even perfecting the virtual space
Hmm.
and stuff like that, but there are a lot of things coming up. There are a lot of, I mean, our next big show will be Hallelujah, the Praise Concert.
Right,
We had it last year. This year is the
right.
second year that we're doing it. And after that, the next one will be the Booyah Jazz Festival.
Okay,
So the Hallelujah Praise Concert is the 17th of next month, the 17th of April,
okay.
which is Easter Sunday. And we're working on that. So soon enough, we're going to have the promos out and the artists. We're
Right,
going to announce the artists and stuff like that. But there's a lot that we have on the table.
right.
It's just a matter, we know exactly what we want to do. It's just a
Just
matter of executing it properly.
right.
Mhm.
And any album in the works for as far as Colin goes? I know she released like
We She
well,
released 3 songs for the
right,
year
yeah,
so far,
yeah.
which is Go Down, Mr. DJ,
Hmm.
Sway, and Is That They Like.
Yeah.
We actually have around 4 to 5 songs that we just have to complete,
Hmm.
and but right now, to be honest with you, I use the music as not as not for profit, but as my business card, as our business card.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Because things are so easily accessible right now to put out an album and decide you're gonna put it for sale, put it out for sale and stuff like that. I That is a thing of the past, to be honest,
Right.
in
Yeah.
my opinion. I mean, it can still be done.
Right.
I shouldn't say it's a thing of the past, but I mean, it have certain, you can do things differently now. You don't necessarily have to release an album. You can release singles.
Right.
And
Mhm.
these days, before it used to be the music, and after a while the visual would come out. But
Hmm.
right now it's more about visual more than
Yes.
anything right now.
Yes.
So we concentrated on new music,
Right.
but song by song, and planning and visuals, making sure we have visuals when
Right.
we can do it. It's kind of expensive to do it the right way,
Hmm.
but I mean, we have started. It's just a matter of of perfecting what it is that we're doing, probably pulling in new resources to get a
Right.
product that we can really market.
Hmm.
But new music, yes. Album, not necessarily.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, you're speaking about visual, which actually brings me to my next question, because when you guys were in the States, I believe you released two music videos.
Was it two or was it
There was
one? I believe.
Wasn't there a
I
Christmas?
think it
There was
was
a
Go
Christmas.
Down.
There was
Oh
Go
yes,
Down and
yes,
the
yes. Oh
Christmas.
yes, 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 yes.
That man need to rest, bro. So, yeah. So, anything in works for that song? The one that they
Right.
like anything for that, because that's a blazing song.
Well, we have intentions. We have intentions for this song. We have intentions for Sway. You know, we have intentions.
I like to poke. I like to poke the bear.
I like that
You
Sway
know,
song. I think that's a really good road song.
right,
Um,
right,
you
right,
know,
right.
have a lot of
You
bacchanal in
know,
that
but
song.
you see, but I like the fact that you mentioned that though, because people on the outside they favor Sway, whereas Dominicans they like is that they like
Yeah.
Ah,
because it it have that local twang. It has that Dominican twang, so a lot of
Yes.
Dominicans can relate to it.
All right.
You know, so you want to put out stuff that fills the whole spectrum.
right.
You know, you want to cater for Dominicans, yet you want to cater for people
For the
outside
world,
there.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
You know, so a lot of people really, 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 a lot of people, non-Dominicans, I should say, they're
Hmm.
into sway. They're really into sway. Whereas Dominicans themselves, they like the hardcore booyah groove and
Mm,
the simple bass line and just the down the line kind of melodic line and stuff like that, and plus the local twang, they like that, so it's very relatable to Dominicans,
mm-hmm.
you know. But still, I mean, again, to when it comes to lyrics, you have to craft lyrics in such a way that it can still branch out.
Oh yes,
So
for
it
sure.
still has it still has that it still has the capability of branching out, even though Dominican, other people can still relate to it out there,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
you know.
for
Yes.
sure.
Which I personally gotta say that I appreciate her penmanship.
Mhm.
Because we have a few, but lately we don't. So I appreciate the penmanship. So
Well, well, as you're in as much as you're on penmanship, Sway was actually written by Bambi.
okay.
Sway was written by
You,
Bambi, who
I
is
can
also featured on the song.
right. I don't know. I had a feeling like nobody told me this, but I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't Tuesday. Anyway, there was a back-to-back performance, but the first one I saw, he was performing with her, and I was like,
Right, right, right.
I'm like, that kind of song's not Colin-ish. I don't know if that song's right. Like she fits the song, but it just had a different vibe to it, and I was like, okay, if
Mm,
he's there,
It had the
then
old school vibe to it. It had the old
that's
school vibe to
yes,
it.
it gave me
That
that
is what it
right,
had.
right, right.
It
So
had that
okay,
old school vibe to it. Because, to be honest, what the song is now was not what it started off to be.
okay,
You
okay.
know, because Rodney Thomas, I think, is the one who he was the one who did the music on the song, the original music on the song. Because
right,
he and Bambi always work together.
okay.
You know, and Bambi in his normal self. You see how Bambi is on stage?
That's all he's in
That is
prison.
Bambi for you. That is just
Yeah,
Bambi. You understand? So when he
yeah.
brought this song to us, the same way how you see him performing this
It's
song is
the
the
same way.
same way he brought this song to us. So we vibes into this song and we check in. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
But I didn't want it to be 100% classic style, classic booyah style.
right,
You know,
right,
Mm,
so we brought in people like Durnell from Signal, the keyboardist from Signal, to pass his hand on it. I
right,
myself passed my hand on it, changed couple tones, and and did certain things to it, and we came up with that. So Bambi wrote that, and Carlin wrote "Is That They Like,"
right,
and Razson Ajmal,
right.
Skyo Beats is the one who actually did the beat for "Is That They Like."
Nice.
okay.
And he's the same guy that did Booyah Water.
Yes.
So
So
seeing that we won best Booyah song, with Booyah Water,
It's only right.
It's only right that we go back to him
Of
for
course.
another
If
song. You
if it's
understand?
not broken, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that well,
So
that's a big tune there.
I
Um,
saw a question come in from a viewer.
yeah.
I'll ask that question, but we'll get back into some serious questions after. The question is, what happened in the Poppy Show wedding and the dress? Talk up, Mr. Phillip.
it's a papi show wedding. So what you want me to do? What you want me to dress like this? I can't dress like this. It is a papi show wedding. Joel, you know what a papi show wedding is, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
But I
So I
didn't see it,
mean,
so now I have to go and watch the videos of
yeah, you have to go and watch it. You have to watch it.
I,
Um, the papi show wedding, I was just in character. I mean, Colin was in character. I was dressed as the bride. Colin was dressed as the groom. You know, and it was all in the. I mean, it was a papi show wedding, so you had to dress the part. I didn't expect people to take a liking to my legs so much.
Oh gosh.
Yo, I
You know.
never in 1,000 years saw that coming. And when I saw that, I called my partner and I say, our partner in a dress, man. I say, yeah, we boy. I say, you know
No,
that
but I
let him do
mean,
that.
no,
And
but the thing about it is that is entertainment. And again, too,
Right.
if you come in for a papi show wedding theme and you're asking your Zoomers, you're asking the Expedition Zoom box to come in their papi show and dress up and thing, we have to be dressed up. We have to be
right,
dressed the part,
Yeah.
you know? So I mean, you can imagine how disappointed people would have felt if I wasn't in that dress.
Oh
so what
gosh.
about those that disappointed you got in the dress now?
Well, I don't know of anyone who I haven't heard anyone being disappointed of me being in the dress.
well, you just said
You
they like
know,
your legs, so it's all good.
well,
Right. Did
if
you
you
have
like
to
my
shave? Did you shave for the dress?
Oh
no,
gosh.
all that is part of it. As even vexed that the armpit didn't have hair. I mean, I wish the armpit would have had hair.
Oh
Oh my
boy.
goodness.
Nah,
Oh
man,
man.
nah, man. But
Yeah.
it's all about entertainment. It's all about making people happy. It's all
Yeah.
about having fun.
Right.
You know, it's all about it's all about spreading the love and sharing good times.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, yeah, I never saw it coming. I wonder who wrote that question. Anyway, there's a WhatsApp number you guys could also send some voice notes for
Mm-hmm.
us for Cornell, and it's passing in the bottom there right now. So if you have any voice notes you want to send, we will play them later on, obviously, but you guys could go ahead and send them, right? So man,
Let me ask a question to get back into the seriousness of the interview here. Cornell, how did you select the songs for the album? Did you have a few to select from, or did you have some very specific songs that you knew that you wanted to produce for this album?
Some of them were a must. Songs like Balassi and Drum Festival, Balassi Festival. These were musts, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and also Kong Shell. These songs were three songs that had to go. That you know, it was a no-brainer for me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Selecting the songs, I mean, I don't know. It's something that happened naturally. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the hardest part was doing the originals, you know, coming up with the originals because the the covers were already there and
Mm-hmm.
they were already part of me, even if the songs from Ophelia, the songs from Gramax, they were not they are not my songs, but
Mm-hmm.
these are people that I've backed up in the past. You
Okay.
know, we went on tour together and stuff like that, and I played for them. So it was easy for me to just put my own spin, you know, on it. The hardest part was doing the original material,
Mm-hmm.
and I just knew I had to do some original stuff on there, and I didn't want it to be 100% covers, you know. So choosing the songs choosing the covers was not hard. Choosing getting the original material wasn't hard either, but it was a little bit more challenging than the covers themselves.
Mhm. Okay. All
So
right. Thanks.
so do you guys go the same process when it comes to like Colin stuff or even fanatic stuff when you guys did that? You guys went through like, do you guys record a whole bunch of songs and choose what you want to put out, or you just work on particular songs?
The thing about it is that music is art, and well, art in general has no time or
Right.
place. Art just happens,
Mm-hmm.
So you would get the inspiration and you just produce. You
Whatever.
can produce a whole album in a week,
Right.
whereas you'll go a whole year and nothing comes up.
Mm.
And there are times when the inspiration is there. There are times when the inspiration is just not there.
Right.
So I mean, even the two of you, you get up in the morning and you always humming something.
Yeah.
So we get up in the morning and we always hum. You always hum something, and even if it's a familiar phrase, I would go further and just switch it up a bit and see if I like what I come up with and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll just make a voice note out of it,
Right.
and later on when I figure, hey, I have something to do, let me see what I have in my voice notes. And I go to it and I'm like, wow,
Hmm.
but you never know. It is difficult. It is very, 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 very difficult for you to sit down at a table and say you're going to produce a song. That
Right.
is that is the hardest thing.
Right.
Especially if time running out on you to come and sit down at the table and just produce something. That is the hardest thing that you can do in production. Whereas you put yourself in a headspace where you have things around you that can inspire you.
Right.
Mhm.
And it just comes up and it just flows. It just flows. I can remember when Fanatic decided to take part in the Kadas
Mm-hmm.
band competition, which we won. We had two original songs to produce, and I could have stayed in the studio and worked on the two songs, but I chose not to do that.
Mm.
I told the same band that played, I told them, yo, come in the studio, we're going to produce two songs.
Mhm.
I don't want y'all to bring no idea. I don't want y'all to send no voice note of an idea you have. We're just going to come in the studio and we're just going to start to make music,
Right.
And they came in the night and I say, any one of you just start to play anything.
Mhm.
Just start to play anything. And then we started and we just started to build. We started to feed off each other.
Right.
And that is the best, I can safely say that is the best way to make music
Right.
together as a team, together as a unit.
Yeah.
Because doing it by yourself, yeah, you can get great results, but I mean, just one more person adding to it is 100%
Right.
addition, because you are one. Another person to that is double.
Yes.
So the result that we got, I was very, very, very satisfied with it. And we produced two songs, which was Anuj Kadas
Mm-hmm.
and Pray for Dominica.
Okay.
And
Right.
these two songs were produced by a collective of four musicians and Carlin. So five
Right.
of us were in the studio and we just started to
Vibe.
vibes together and
Mhm.
we came up with these two songs. And I wish we'd come back to that instead of having your laptop with a headphone in your ear
Mm-hmm.
and you have a set of samples and you put it together. I mean, there's a time for that, but there's also a time for musicality. Musicians come together and they produce great stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Bounce energy off each other.
Yep,
That's
So
what you
yep,
call organic,
yep.
organic creativity. Yeah.
so go ahead.
No, I wanted to know if you've ever been approached by musicians to sample your music, your sound, to fuse it with their sound. Has that ever happened?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
That has forever happened, and I welcome it. You know, I welcome it. A lot of people seem to think that I make a lot of money when people ask for it and stuff like that. But I mean, drink your water and mind your business. Okay, that's what I'll tell them. But again, my conscience is clear.
Yeah.
You know, people have come to me and people have asked me to do remakes of WCK songs. People have asked me to use certain parts of the song, and I tell them, yeah, sure, I don't have a problem with it, but you know, it's not. I don't have the final say because the masters belong to WCK.
Okay.
You know, the sample belong to WCK. I am part of WCK, but I'm not WCK, you know.
Right.
So I would send them to talk to Keith. Keith would come back to me, we'd talk, and you know, and we discuss. But I mean, use of my sample, use of me playing the balance batty riff, or so many other beats of phrases. I mean, that going to bring the music further.
Yes.
You know, but that kind of fighting, all this bickering that has been going on and stuff like that. I mean, I can bicker too. You know, I have had songs that I paid for, you know, from beat makers. There are beats that I paid for beat makers, and I put out this song, and years later I hear remnants of this song in another song.
Something else. Wow.
But hey, so what?
Yeah.
You know, so what? So what? That's all I can say. So what?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we do it. We do it. We have a problem in our music industry, particularly in our bouillon music industry, where we hardly have original hooks anymore.
True.
You understand? We take hooks from other people, and we even take the original vocals and put it on top of our song.
Yeah.
You know, so if we can do it, why others cannot do it? And I think we're doing it worse than the others.
Yep.
You know, so all this thing, I really, you know, I really don't see the reason for it. You know, and there's this thing about Go Down, and the beat of Go Down is this beat from WCK. That wasn't there. That wasn't there. I put it there to create some kind of familiarity, to really bring it home, to bring it to Dominica.
Right.
You understand? And I mean, what is the big deal? What is the big deal? We do it all the time. So why can't... It has been done to me many times. I'm not going to bitch about it. You know, we as a Dominica music industry do it all the time. Jamaicans do it all the time. Everybody does it.
Everybody samples.
You know, but I never took to say that I steal somebody this and I steal somebody that. Again, to everybody have their story.
Yeah.
I have my story, but what is the purpose of me coming out and putting out a story that going to defame somebody else and all these things? What is the purpose of that? Where does that bring us?
Would you say that there's a lack of business etiquette then in the music industry then?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Because I've had situations where people just put out things. Because we in Dominica, I mean, I'll be very frank. There are artists in Dominica that put out things out there. They don't do a proper production. They don't do proper lyrics. They don't do proper this. They don't do proper that, and they put it out. And then after, when it gets popular, that is when they want to go and do a proper song of it. You're doing things back to front. You're doing things back to front. You know, so I mean, boy, it is really sad. It is a sad situation.
I almost think you need to open a school or something, like a university for people to learn the craft. They need to learn the craft.
I don't have to open. But the thing about it is that, Joel, that is not the business aspect of it. We as a people have to change our mindset.
Yeah.
We as a people need to change our mindset. It has nothing to do with business.
Yeah.
We have to stop hating on each other. We have to stop being jealous of each other. We have to stop bringing down each other any chance we get.
Yeah, you're right.
You understand?
Mm.
So we have to change that mindset, and after that, everything will fall in place, and probably then we can talk the business. But we
Right.
have to be willing to come together to talk
Right.
the business, and we have to be willing to disagree.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
I mean, over the last year, if I tell you stories that I've experienced, you would freak out.
Mhm.
You would freak out, and it is embarrassing. And
Right.
I can tell you, Dominica's music is suffocating its own self.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. You're talking facts right now. Facts.
I agree.
Facts.
You know,
Yeah.
since we're on the sample thing, and you're right. Every year for the last 20 years, we've been sampling R&B artists or whichever artist,
Exactly.
and we don't sample our own, which
Mhm.
would actually revive our own music, right?
When we sample our own, we vex.
With exact, that's where I was going actually with that, because I remember a band, I'm not gonna call the name, sampled older band in Dominica, and I was like, "Yo, that's nice." I was excited about it, and they take them and thing, and I'm like, "For real?" Like that's what we should be doing. The old music that our kids don't know,
Mhm.
we should be introducing them to that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
As I tell you again, we need to change. We need to change our ways. We need to change our mindset.
right.
You know how fed up I am of this whole thing of jealousy, greed, and envy, and this and that. And I mean, I've been attacked so many times. But what I'm being attacked for has no substance because there is no. Tell me what I have done.
Right.
Mhm.
You understand? Tell me what I have done. Don't say that
Yeah.
I do this and I do that and I do this. No.
Right.
Tell me that I went out the door. Tell me that I did a particular thing.
Right.
But when you go and you just send blanket statements out there, I'm not going to
Right.
take you on. I have better things to do
Of
with my
course.
time. Honestly.
Of
I have
course.
better things to do with my time. And I am doing better things with my time. And I am seeing the fruits of my labor. So
Right.
I don't have to worry about you, my brother man. I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about you, my brother woman.
Well, well,
Just let's go on.
yeah, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's has everything to lose. You're the one that's in the limelight. You're the one everybody looks at. You will respond like we had a band on here a few weeks ago, and I'm like, if you're ahead, you don't want to look back at the noise. You just keep going.
Mhm.
All distractions. But
You want me to
but
go in
that's
something that I really don't want to go into.
no, no,
Let
no,
me
no, no,
change
no,
it up
no.
to 5 a bit. There's a
Well,
question here, Ravi. There's a question here, coming from someone. It says, "When can the Dissect panel expect a C squared interview?"
but who coming up with
C
them
squared is
questions?
Colin and myself.
Ah,
Yes.
C
okay,
squared is actually Colin, XP, and myself.
okay.
Because after well, that is for Joel and those who don't know. When I came back to Dominica after touring with Rupi and I formed Fanatic,
Mhm.
um, bad economic times has been a thing for a while now. So
Yep.
people couldn't afford a big band and stuff like that. But yet we had to. Music is what I do for a living, 100% music. And Colleen was a nurse. Well, Colleen is a registered nurse. She still pays a license. And she made the decision to go into music full time. So we had to make something happen for ourselves. So the two of us came together and we decided to do a smaller group that would entertain like the bars, the hotel lobbies and stuff like that. So that is where C Square came about.
Okay.
you know. And then after that, now I realized that Carlin XP came about during that time also.
Right.
But then I mean C Square wasn't as marketable as that beautiful female artist called Carlin XP. So then the focus started to shift towards Carlin XP.
Right. Hmm.
Thank you for that explanation. I know more. Yeah.
I was actually going to add something there, but Cornell said I want him to go places.
That's what I said. Let me just take this somewhere else.
But
Change the vibe a little bit. But no, thank you for
yeah,
asking that question.
yeah. So but you know the bad looking guy, Cornell. Why 60 Square wasn't marketable? I don't get it.
Nah, man. Well, I cannot. Nah, man. I rather push the forefront.
Yeah,
Push Colin up at the front and let Colin get all the accolades and all the. The focus is better to be focused on one thing than two. You
right.
understand?
Well, and she's definitely doing a good job because where I am, I hear good and I hear I hear good and I hear negative, and when you hear negative,
Well,
that means you're doing something good,
Mm.
right?
exactly. I mean, it depends on the negative too, because if you hating, I must be progressing. That is what I
Right.
say.
Exactly.
If you hating, I must be progressing.
Yes.
One and two, we're not perfect, and if everybody keeps telling us that we good, we good, we good, we good, and there's nothing wrong with us, there's something
Some.
seriously wrong with us.
Yeah.
Oh
First
yes.
of all, we are wrong the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because I mean, a problem I always get into trouble because after a performance, when talking to the team or stuff like that, I wouldn't ask how was it. I would ask what did we do wrong? Where did we go wrong? What can we do to get better? And it does affect my marriage,
Hmm.
because I mean, when you have your wife, you have to compliment your wife.
Right.
You understand? But the fact that I always want to know where did we go wrong and what can we do to make it better.
Mm.
Right.
That is what I dwell on. So the critics, I welcome the critics, both sensible and nonsensible,
Mm-hmm.
because the nonsensible one will fit in the bracket of if you hating, I must be progressing.
Facts.
And the sensible ones, that means, yo, okay, I need to do this better. I need to work on this. I need to concentrate on this. I need to, make myself better as a person, as a musician.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's what's up. So,
I like that you make reference a lot to your relationship with Colleen and your marriage, and I think that's important because that that shows that you're not just a businessman, but you're a family man, and you talked about the balance. You said the balance wasn't balanced, but I think that it shows that there is balance there, even though you may not see it. I think that you're doing a good job.
I mean, there is a balance, but I don't know. Probably novelists can tell you that artists are very sensitive people,
yep.
So, artists, you trodden on thin ice when you're dealing with artists.
Hmm.
Especially when people, Colin always tell me it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
Yep. I agree,
You know.
Colin. I agree.
What happened? You going back to that time, man?
No, I still deal with it. I still deal with it.
But
I'm
it's not
guilty.
what you say, but how you say it. But
Hmm.
is that is how we get better. That is how we progress.
Right.
Hmm.
By really fine tuning where needs to be fine tuned.
Hmm.
Yeah, you are right when you say this on thin ice. That's why we write those type of songs that come from there, and then everybody have to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Put out all the
Exactly.
aggression, all the anger. It's actually it's therapy. Music is actually therapy.
It's so
It
is.
is therapy.
Right? Yeah,
It
writing it,
Yeah.
singing it, performing it, every part of it. So
Hmm.
you know. So Cornell, I can't believe an hour has already
Man.
almost up.
Let
Almost.
me tell you, last week I was digging Temptations. Well, not
Yeah,
Temptations, Samantha Moon.
Samantha. Yeah,
And when I saw that you were closing down, I was like, what?
yeah. The
I was like,
time.
what?
Mhm.
The,
Uh,
I felt like we just sat down there.
for a show
And
like this, I mean, for a show like this, y'all need 2 hours, man. For
$2.
real. You only they say you only 2 hours.
You know,
An hour, you know, that is part two. And how much
yeah.
have we spoken about? You mean let's think about it.
You
But
crazy. Yeah.
you know what? In all fairness, this is all my laziness, right? Last year we had an hour and a half, and I found that we were doing 3 hour shows, and like, yo, we had like, dude, what time is it? I actually got in trouble, um,
Right.
at home because I did a 3 hour show and not realizing it was 3 hours I'm doing the show. So I
Yeah.
had to break it down to like, you know what, we can do an hour and possibly go 15 minutes over, so
Right, right,
it's
right,
all in my
right, right,
laziness,
right.
but in all fairness, it's all for my protection to my safety at home.
So two of us in the same boat then.
Of course. What's you put that thing on your finger? Hey, we're all in the same club, you know.
I know, I know, I know, I know, I know.
But yeah,
Well,
it was a pleasure. Again, it's not like Dissect is going anywhere. We come back in November for the third season. You are always welcome. Like the person asked, if we could get, well, we won't get C Square, but maybe we can get you and Colin, in the next season or so. So,
yeah, man. Nothing wrong in that.
all right.
Nothing wrong in that.
So,
Once we talk in positivity, we good.
you know where I stand. I gotta say though, I don't control the mouths of the people that come on the show, but
Hmm.
I not out to bash anybody. I'm not out to cause no type of drama for nobody at all.
You see,
It's all positive from my side. So
and the thing about it is that you can say what you want to say without bashing anybody.
yeah, of course,
There are ways of doing it.
you know what
And as
people like
ad,
this.
and
You know what people like
what's
cuss
that?
without using the F word and all this other stuff. I cuss in a polite way. You'll figure it out when you reach me. That Mister really cuss me, man.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
but
Or,
we have to
or
get we
kill
have
him
to
with
get out of
silence.
that thing. We just need to get out of that whole vibe of bringing down each other.
Yep,
When we start to do that, our music will progress nicely.
that is true.
So
You
there's a
know,
question before you leave quickly. Great. Someone saying here, Tyrone George says, great interview. Question to Cornell. What are your views on the younger Bouillon artists in terms of their lyrics and production? Also, are you the approachable type? Meaning, can any artist come to you for feedback, etc., on songs and production?
artists come to me all the time. Artists come to me all the time, and I never turn them away.
Mhm.
So that was an easy question to ask. In terms of the lyrics and production, I have no problem with the production. The production, I mean, le- people talking about the music, Bouillon music has lost its musicality, its melody, its
Hmm.
but the way of the world today, the simple songs are the popular songs.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, when people go to the dance, when people go on the dance floor, they go to the fete, the simplest songs will impact them because they just want to free up themselves. They don't want to think about anything. So just a simple. That's why rave. I mean, rave. I have no problem with rave
Right.
because that's where people can just go and release and just bang their heads and
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
just get it out. You
Yeah. Yeah.
understand? But you can't do that on jazz. You can't do that on a song that have a whole set of arrangements and things
Right.
like that.
Right.
So I mean, all music has its place. The simplest to
True.
the most complex.
Right.
True.
The lyrics, on the other hand, is another problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, straight up, I wouldn't put water in my mouth to say that our lyrics, they degrade women
Right.
or what we make popular in Dominican music degrade women,
Yes.
Yeah.
degrade the social, it just breaks down our whole social vibe.
Right.
Respect for women, respect for authority.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our lyrics, we tired preach hate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We tired preach hate, and it has become so much of the norm that people, so it's set already. People will tell me, so it's set already, so it is already. That's how it is. That is the culture. That is not the culture.
That's an
Do not
excuse.
look at me and tell me that is the
Nope.
culture. And the
Nope.
thing about it is that it has gotten so deep rooted in the whole music industry. In our minds, it has become so deep rooted in our minds
Right.
that where we draw the line is like, you're on the front line of an army, right? You're on the battlefield and you're in the front line, but you cross over that battlefield and you're in
Right.
enemy territory right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we already cross over in enemy territory and we've gone far in, but that has become the new front line.
Mhm.
You understand? So we're
Yes.
doing the wrong already, but it's the extent of the wrong that we're questioning right now.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's the extent of the wrong. It was wrong to begin with. It is wrong. Do not use profanity in your lyrics.
Right.
Make songs that make sense.
Yes.
Sing songs
Yeah.
that make sense, that
Yes.
people can sing to. Make songs that people can sing, that will play on the radio 20 years down the line.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Yeah.
100 years down the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's become, I don't know, it's the norm and it is shameful.
Yeah.
And as I said in some of my posts on Facebook, is that the trendsetters, that is what they base a lot of their base is on, that kind of vibe, that kind of foul vibe.
Right.
And it's about time that stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people get vexed with me for me telling them that already. Fellow musicians get vexed with me for telling them that already. Fellas tell me don't play their content for any reason whatsoever.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
And I like, okay, well, cool. I mean, there's so much I can do. But, and look, somebody asking a question there, how to fix it? Again, we have to change our mindset.
Yep.
And we have to put regulations in place. A lot of stuff
Yep.
play on the radio that should not be played on the radio.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
What happened to
on
the
how we should
censor?
fix
What
it.
happened to the censor? What happened to the censorship on the radio?
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, we talk. Let's take Canada or the United States for instance. There are certain songs that you just cannot play. You cannot think of playing that on the radio.
Right.
Right.
You'll be fined. You will be fined.
Mhm.
Somebody will be fired. You understand?
Of course. Of course.
But in Dominica is whatever go, and I mean it is the norm that, I mean, Vice rules the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Vice rules the world. Now, even if that is a fact, that doesn't make it right. That doesn't say that you should do it. It was good and it changed to, let's just say everything was so hunky-dory when it came to lyrics and stuff like that. But then it started to progress in something that is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we change it? It wasn't like that before, so why can't we change back? And we always keep making references to things coming full circle, The lyrics have to come full circle at some point.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
everything comes full circle.
I've spoken to some like artists face to face, not on the program, obviously. And I'd say like, so why you choose to sing that particular song about, like you say, degrading a woman? And they tell me, boys, that they like. But I'm thinking, like, to me that don't make sense because you the artist.
Yeah.
Right? How can you tell me that's what they want? You the artist. If I want bread, I gotta come to your bakery to get the bread. If you don't bake bread, I don't eat bread.
Yeah. That's it.
Right?
And I must say too, I mean, everything has a place and time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Right.
But I mean, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't sing smart. I wouldn't sing smart. I would be disappointed if anyone sings smart.
Right.
And but if that's how you do it and according to how you do it, I may respect it.
Yeah.
But the way how it is done right now, there is no masking, there is no nothing. It's just being done. I cannot condone that.
Yes.
But then everything has a place and a time, but that is too dominating in our music today.
Yeah.
It is too. It is just. It dominates. It dominates, and I will tell anybody, right? What music is being played on right now? WCK's music is still being played
Of
a
course,
lot
timeless.
on the radio, and
Timeless.
you ask yourself a question: why?
Yeah.
Yep.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Why is WCK's music being played still after 30 years?
Mhm.
You know, after 35 years? Why? Because it is timeless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You understand? People can relate to it.
Yeah.
I mean, a part of mine, Junior, he put out a post on Facebook and he said that he can't even have his children. Once you cannot have your children listen to a particular song, something is wrong
That's
because
a
they are the
problem.
new generation.
Of course.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep. That's a
My
problem.
daughter, she's 10 years old right now, and she listens to all kind of music. She listens to Colin XP not because he's a mother,
Right.
but it's because it's music that she can listen to.
Right.
She will listen to WCK. She will listen to Signal.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? She listen to Triple K, but it have certain. I mean, there. What people in Dominica call the popular bouillon, that cannot go anywhere. It cannot do nothing for the music industry. It just stays in Dominica and it dies right there.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and people wouldn't like me for saying that, but that is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact. Look at the trend. Look at the trend. Look at the music that is playing on radio today.
Yeah.
Right? Look at the music that is playing on radio today. Seeing that whole vibe has come about lyrics and this and that. You're not hearing that music on the radio anymore. You're not hearing much of that music on the radio anymore. But you still getting it in the vehicles passing on the road. You still get it in the fete, and you're still getting it in the minds of the young people that tarnish in our society. It's tarnishing our society, and it needs to stop. Who vex with me, they vex. But it needs to stop. It honestly needs to stop.
Right.
And but the thing about it is most of the music that that is degrading the the all young women, they are the ones that's enjoying it the most. That baffles my mind.
That is why I was telling you about that we already crossed the line, and the line that we crossed, the new line that we form is now the new threshold.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But that it has been wrong from time. It has been wrong from time, but we have set a new bar.
Yep.
We have set a new bar. The bar was below here. It was bad already as it was, but we have set a new bar because the leaders, for lack of a better word, I not necessarily coming out on government, but the people that can effect change by putting things in place, they endorse that kind of nonsense. They endorse it. You understand? So I mean, it will just they will say, well, they'll say as a hater, yeah, that's true, that's not a problem. But we, again, novelists, if you remember, back in the days of WCK, when we used to play on the road, we used to dictate what plays on the radio, not necessarily by telling them what they must play, but what we put out there is what that would be played on the radio. What would, the kind of music, if we come out with if we start to play a foreign song, then you'd start to hear it on the radio.
Yes.
We had that power, and the musicians and the artists today have that power.
They have that power, yes.
But they rather go the easy way out, and they rather sell out.
Yeah.
They rather sell out by going the easy way. Smart sells, but that doesn't make it right.
Right. Yeah. But is it the easy way though? Because I mean, if you create and just take your time. Because if I'm gonna sing a song about degrading a woman and it's gonna last for 2 months, and where I could take that same song and mask it and have it last for 2 years, what's really the easy way? You know what I mean?
I really don't know that. But again, to penny wise, pound foolish. You want the fast fame.
Yeah,
that is all. I mean, we're not looking at a lot of us don't look at the long term.
Right.
A lot
That's
of
true.
us do look at the long term,
Yeah.
but we need to look at the long term. And again, I will say, as an artist, every artist has a responsibility to uplift life in a positive way in
Hmm.
everything that they do.
Yeah.
That is your responsibility. That is your responsibility. There's no other way to put it. That is what you're
Right.
there for, to make
Yep.
people happy,
Hmm.
not to make people fight and not to make people look down at each other.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Hmm.
understand?
Mm.
Even we have hate lyrics too. We always think that somebody do us wrong and we have to put it in song and we have to do
Yeah.
this and we have to do that. Where does that take you? If
I,
Joey listen to a lot of songs right now, she totally lost. She say, okay, who are they talking about? What
right.
are they
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Why are they talking about this? You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
That goes back
The
to what
only
you said
people that
earlier
can mm,
about the artist being sensitive. You know, be-
yes,
because
too
Yeah.
sensitive. Because
yeah.
I mean, you can be sensitive at the back. You can be sensitive, but when it comes to stage, when it comes to performing and
Right.
putting your image and your brand out there,
Yeah. That's a
you
different thing.
cannot portray that. You should not
No, of
portray
course
that.
not.
I do not agree with anybody portraying that, and people get vexed with me and tell me, don't send them my blast already. They know what I say about them. But that is
Right.
my opinion. So why can't you? I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm just giving my opinion about your particular song, about a particular this, a particular that. But it's not bad I wishing for you.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand? It's not bad I wishing for you. But why you want to hate on me?
Hmm.
Why do you want to hate on me? I mean, stop hating on. Forget about what people say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Forget about what people say about you. Have your plan and go your merry way.
Yeah.
Right.
Do what you have to do for you to move on, progress. Let's go. Let's shoot for that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
we figure shooting for that light is lashing back at somebody. For what?
Right.
Where does that bring you? That, to me, that you just wasted a whole song.
Yeah.
True.
You just wasted a whole melody. You just
Yeah.
wasted a whole 3 minutes.
Someone just made a comment that, music that's being produced today has no financial value. It for me, I believe that comment. I agree. And I also believe that it's for the likes on social media. It's not so much for the financial gain, it's for that in the moment.
True.
People that are
Very
producing
true.
things, yeah. They're not looking for longevity now. They're looking for in the moment. I'm popular. I'm trending because that's the new word. I'm
Right.
trending.
Yep.
So that's what they're looking for. But before we let you go,
Okay,
you
but
need
let me
to
just
share your
just
handles.
let me say that. Just
Yeah.
let me say that though. Look at the Trinidad artists. They're trending, right?
Hmm.
With what lyrics?
Hmm.
Facts. Look how they slow down the music.
Okay?
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're trending. They're trending so much that we want to be like them. Boy, that's another sad story. But Joel, what were you saying?
No, I would say share your handles so people know where to find you to get some more of this good value, the music, Colleen XP. We want all of that.
Well, I will start off with me. Because we spoke about the Interpretations album that I released some years
Yes.
ago. So you can go on all social media platforms and you can search Cornell Phillip Interpretations and
Hmm.
you'll find my album. I think there are 13 songs on that album or 12 songs, I can't remember. But you will like it, which is a spin off is a spin off Booyah songs. Some of them I took like Balance Batty and I created a slower version, jazzed up version of it. And when people ask me about the album, I tell them that that is Booyah music that you can listen to on a Sunday morning,
Hmm.
Hmm.
you know?
Yes.
So you can get that Cornell Phillip Interpretations on all major streaming download sites. I also have a Facebook page, Cornell Phillip.
Hmm.
You can get me there. I also have a YouTube page, Cornell Phillip. You can get me there also.
Hmm.
And the brand, the real brand for me right now is Carlin XP. and you can go to carlinxp.com. We have a website we keep all our people view activities there. We also have music where you can purchase. We have merch, that you can get all on the site. And on Facebook is CarlinXP767. On YouTube is CarlinXP. On Instagram is Carlin_XP. I trying to get her to go into TikTok. But you can just search Carlin XP and you'll find everything Carlin XP, and all Carlin XP's music is on the download sites and everything. So it's on Facebook, it's everywhere. So everything is available.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, sir. We definitely have to do this again. So I want to thank you again for coming and spending the evening with us. Yeah, 3. So, well, that's what happens when you bring people with a lot of knowledge, people with a lot of history, and longevity in the business, right? So, I'm pretty sure you will come 3, and the viewers will probably want you to come a 4th time. So,
and before we go, let me apologize for me being so passionate, but it's about time that people start to speak up.
Don't apologize for that at all.
No,
that's your passion, and no apology needed.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to apologize. People came and say what they had to say. You say what you have to say.
There were fire signs, there were fifths, there were heart signs in the comments that you probably didn't see, and they appreciated everything that you said. So no apology needed. No apology.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Cornell. So we'll talk. Thank you for joining us. Great show.
Yeah.
Lots of information.
Wow, what a way to come back.
Yep. So of course, we'll work on having Cornell back in the new season. No promises yet, how the thing goes, but I had fun and definitely looking forward to talking to him again. Hope everybody out there had fun. Do subscribe to Islands Therapy on YouTube, TDN TV on TDN on YouTube as well, and on Facebook. Follow TDN TV, and every Wednesdays on TDN TV and on TDN TV Facebook, we got this weekend interview with the man Anthony Drago. So definitely check that every Wednesdays on TDN TV. All right, Jules, anything?
No, I think I'm excited for the next guests that are coming on next weekend.
Yes, and next weekend, I hope you guys could participate in the WhatsApp group and all that stuff, and wait for the next guests for next week. We'll see you guys. Have a blessed week and a blessed weekend.
Take care.
What's up, y'all? Ramona Tuse here, former Army captain.
Hello, my name is Kurt Alexander, Sergeant First Class, U.S. Army, retired.
Simon Zimi from the U.S. Army.
Catch me live Saturday, March 12th
at 7 p.m. on TDN TV.
Along with 2 of my retired colleagues.
Or on Facebook, Island Therapy.
Talking about my military experience.
As a U.S. Army soldier.
On Dissect.
Dissect, March 3rd.
So tune in, can't wait.
Don't miss it. It's going to be great.